Hi there, Jean Greer here at Stylish Fireplaces. One of our most frequently asked questions here is, do electric fireplaces use a lot of electricity? And I think people are really looking for the answer to two things. How much is it going to cost me to run an electric fireplace? And is it going to cost me more or less than a gas fireplace? Because sometimes people are still in that comparison stage. So let's talk about the cost first. On the Napoleon website, you can find an electric cost calculator. It is very cool. You just need your most recent electricity bill, so you've got your electricity rates, and then you plug in how you're going to use your electric fireplace, and it will tell you how much it's going to cost you to run it. So I took one of our electric fireplaces in one of our homes and it's connected to 220 volts. I use it about 4 hours a day in the evenings, like a lot of us, so dinner time and onward. I use it every day of the year, and I use heat about half the year. When it's cool, obviously I turn the heater on. The rest of the year I don't use it. So with that usage pattern and my electricity rates here in Southern Ontario, it cost me about $169 for the whole year. That is definitely less than running a gas fireplace, and I can actually use it every day of the year. If I don't have the heater on at all, so let's say I put it in for ambiance, and we hear that a lot from our clients here, it would cost me a whopping $3.35 to run that fireplace 4 hours a day, every day of the year without the heater. So it's clearly the heater that's using the most power. The flames are created with LEDs. They are not using very much power at all. So that is the equation you need to think about. And when you talk about no heat, it's not even possible with a gas fireplace, because as soon as I turn on a gas fireplace, that flame is the source of heat, and it's going to be hot, and it's going to be using more than $3.35 for sure, and definitely more than $169 in most cases. And the other thing I would like to compare is if I want a really big fireplace. So with a gas fireplace, there's a practical limit to how big that fireplace could be in the average home. So in gas terms, a 40 or 50-inch fire would be considered pretty big, and definitely, 60 or 70 inches is on the super large size. And part of that is, with a gas fireplace, the burner is the source of the flame, but it's also the source of heat. And the bigger the fireplace, the bigger the burner, the more gas is being consumed and the more heat it's pumping out. And so unless you have a very extravagant sort of power venting system to take that heat into the outside, it's overheating the room. So there's just a lot of practical considerations in putting a large gas fireplace into the average home. Whereas with electric, the size of the fireplace is not tied to the amount of heat that it puts out. And as we've already said, you don't have to have the heater on at all. So if I've got a really big TV and I want to balance that out with a really big fireplace, electrics go up to 100 inches. That 100-inch fireplace is not producing any more heat than the 50-inch fireplace in the same model, because the heaters are the same throughout. So there isn't a burner per se, and even though I'm seeing more flame, I am not producing more heat. So it is much easier to have a really big electric fireplace than it is to have a really big gas fireplace. And the cost relationship doesn't change for the electric fireplace. The size doesn't determine my cost, whereas with a gas fireplace it would. So the two big questions: do electric fireplaces use a lot of electricity? Really what we want to know is, will it cost more than gas? No, definitely not. And how much will it cost me? And in my equation, it's about $169 a year if I use it every day with 4 hours a day in the evenings, and I'm using heat on the cooler months, so let's say that's half the year. You can do your own calculation at the electric cost calculator at napoleon.com, and you can read all the details in our blog at stylishfireplaces.ca.